What's up, everyone? My name is Joe McMillan, and today we are here with Music Library Rehashed with Patty PerShayla of Patty PerShayla and the Mayhaps. How you doing, Patty?
Pretty swell, as good as I can be at
Yeah.
this point.
That's been a common theme lately, just as good as it can be.
Yeah.
So what have you been up to with everything sort of been hectic?
Yeah. Practicing and writing.
Mhm.
And I've started picking up my reading list and my workout routine. It's just all those things that I could never make time for. Now I'm like, oh, I have no excuse. So I guess I should stop being a lump and just like work on myself. Why?
Mhm.
So just self-improvement. And then I'm still managing band things, but on a much smaller scale.
Mm. Yeah, I think that's been a common thing people have been doing. Like honestly, I've been more or less getting back into making music. Like for a long time, I just didn't have the time to really do it. It's just one of those things where you can just having this time where you're literally just you're stuck. Can't really do anything else. So you might as well do stuff you actually been liking doing.
Yeah, I know. I'm really grateful. We have, I live with another musician. Her name's Sandra Effort, and I'm in her band actually as well. We have a drum kit downstairs. We have two pianos, like two keyboards, bunch of guitars. Like all of my stuff
Mm.
is here, so that's really good because for a while it was at another house that I just moved from a couple months ago, and I don't know. It's good to have all of the options because sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to play bass at all today, meh, and then I pick up a piano and it's like, it's the spark is back, so that's good.
Is that like a studio for you guys, or you just have just all the stuff just there?
We have a studio in the basement that we just finished. I think we finished it in the first or second week of quarantine. We're on week 4 now for this household. And we'd been working on that for a while, but it just, we have the time and we want to make good videos. So a good studio where you can just turn on the light and start recording is like a wonderful thing to have. And I've been wanting that for a long time before. So it's nice to have it now.
Came in handy. Perfect timing.
Yeah.
So I guess going right towards the beginning, like how'd you get started with music? Specifically for you, and then you can go maybe into the Mayhaps.
Yeah. Well, my dad played guitar and we would have an annual like camp and jam. And then a couple other of his friends would have similar events where you just, they have a big lawn, a big yard and a huge basement. And then you like set up everything. And then all of these like hippies and rednecks and whoever would just come out, bring a guitar and have a good old time. And I was always around that. Like we had a drum kit in my living room when I was about 6. I remember that. And I guess I just started singing there. I don't know. It's been a weird evolution because I think when I was like 11, I started taking piano lessons. I'd been playing piano just of my own volition for a while before that, just because I like to make noise as a person. I think that's where a lot of it comes from. It's like how I express myself is sonically. Like not like even outside of music. I don't know. Sound is really important to me. And then I started writing songs when I was like 14, 15, starting with Harry Potter based songs or wizard rock. If you're savvy to that community, I don't know. It's been a weird trip, but I
Wait,
think
Wizard Rock's is an actual thing.
It's a movement. Yeah. You might have heard of Harry and the Potters or something or no, don't worry.
I haven't, no.
Well, check it out. There's some good stuff in there if you're a Potterhead, but I don't know. And then I decided to start making Muggle music when I was like 19 and self-recorded some things. And then it was my debut solo record under this project about 6-7 months ago. And now recording with the band. This is our first record. Lucas, my guitarist, and I had been in a band called Talk Radio for a while, which is a very confusing name for any search engine or advertisement. So we changed it. And we started out with a lot of the same songs that we're playing now and with a different drummer, but it kind of felt like it was going into the hard rock world. And I felt like I needed to stop yelling all the time and have more dynamics as an artist. So we're doing still some of the heavier stuff, but a lot more bluesy and like chill. Well, it's calmed down a little bit. It's matured. So we've been playing together since last August with our new drummer Alec. And yeah, it's weird because it feels like I've been working on this forever, but I'm only now getting started. And then now I have to wait to actually do it and just plot my domination from here.
So what do you actually like? What would you say is your main instrument? Because it seems like you play a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Well, other than voice, I would say bass guitar. But I'm practicing guitar a lot, and now that I am here with these pianos, I've been playing piano a lot more too. And then I play ukulele quite a bit as well. So whatever I get my hands on.
Cool. So you said your music was leaning more towards hard rocky. Was it more now? Because what I understood was I always thought you guys were more of like almost like a country band leaning towards things. But
Huh.
yeah,
Um,
is that completely wrong feel and everything?
I wouldn't say country. I think my solo album is the only thing that's really out there right now, and that's definitely like folk Americana. There's so many genres too; it's ridiculous. We're definitely inspired by roots, like folky music, and there is a little bit of twang, but I think blues rock is pretty much where we land. We're definitely inspired by like Black Keys, El King, and Larkin Poe, which is a blues duo that I like a lot. But there's also a lot of Sheryl Crow in me too. So I don't know, Southern rock. Wherever you draw the lines, yeah, we're good old American band.
As long as it's good, that's all that really matters. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Cool. So, like, where do you think you get your inspiration from? Like, you already gave a few artists you kind of take inspired from. Like, how do you like make your songs?
Well, like I was saying about the Harry Potter thing, it definitely started out with books, and in some ways it is still books, but more often than not lately, like lyrically, it comes from conversations I've had with people. And I mean, my personal life, I do write about quite a bit as well, but I also really take inspiration from sci-fi and horror movies for whatever reason. They appeal to me. I'm an aspiring goth girl, so that helps.
What's your favorite
and then
movie?
music. My favorite movie is The Big Lebowski.
Okay, that's fair enough.
I should watch that tonight. Thank you for reminding me. It's been a while.
I've actually never seen it, surprisingly.
There's a lot of swearing, and if you're focusing on the storyline, you're going to get lost. But if you focus on the characters, I think you'll appreciate it. That's all I'll give you.
It's going on my list, right up there.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Cool. So like, what have you guys doing sort of before things got a little bit crazy?
My last few shows were really wonderful. I had like 4 shows and that last week. I had a Rush tribute project that I'm still working with. We only play a couple shows a year. It's me and 3 middle-aged men that I look up to a lot. They're wonderful. And then I was kind of getting away from that a little bit and we were recording our record. We're in the middle of recording our record right now. We have 8 songs for the most part done, and then we were going to write 2 more. And I have ideas for them, and I've been doing Sunday songwriting every week on our Patreon page, which is basically like a fan-based subscription service that I just put out some extra stuff for people, just so that they know I'm earning their money. But I'm still doing some free stuff right now because, I mean, I can't expect people to pay me when they're trying to feed themselves. Like, it's so it's just been like that. And I've been doing some songwriter based stuff and working on my own playing a lot too. Like even before the crisis, like before the lockdown, I had been working on my guitar playing and trying to stand on my own as a player, because I feel like I've let my voice carry me for a while, which is like my favorite thing to do is sing. Like I don't, but I don't know. I really want to, if I have an instrument in my hands, I want to really know how to use it. I guess that's how I've been looking at this process.
So when you actually like physically write, like what's your process for that? Like do you actually like sit down pretty much just like go to the piano or just try to play, or you try to like get everything beforehand and move on to actual stuff?
It's chaos.
Yeah, I know it's a hard question to really kind of answer.
Yeah, I have several notebooks actually. I keep one near my bed that I never use. It's a dream journal, but my dreams are either nightmares or non-existent. So sometimes we just like to repress those. And then on Sundays when I've only gotten through 3 weeks, I did a video. And then this last week I wasn't able to do a video. So I just wrote a bunch of lyrics and talked about it a little bit. Cause sometimes you can't expect yourself, like you can force yourself to write. And that is the best way to like exercise that like muscle, is to practice it regularly. And to just finish stuff and then edit it instead of just making sure it's perfect the first time. And as far as the music, that's just like pick up whatever instrument appeals to me in that moment and then just noodle. Just wherever my hands land, figure out the next move. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I also like record almost everything I do. And sometimes I just mash stuff together and old thoughts bring up new things and then they just work out. It's not a perfect system, but it's what works for me.
Sounds pretty free form, just whatever sounds good. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Whatever like feels right too. Because sometimes I'll write a song that's not what I'm aiming to write. Like I was saying, I need to write 2 more songs for the record. And we do co-write those. A lot of the times my guitarist Lucas will start stuff. Like he writes a lot of our music. And then we kind of come together and finish it together based on what the lyrics dictate. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's more freeform. Sometimes it's pretty.
Now, do you prefer writing lyrics first or the music? Or I guess the better might we say, like, would it be more important to have the lyrics good or the actual music itself?
Okay. See, I could just be like, well, they're both important and it depends on the song, but that's cheap. And I'm going to give you the real truth. I think the words matter more to me because how many simple songs are out there that only have 4 chords, you know? And I don't know. It's like some people, I mean, I have a lot of progressive influence, a lot of like technically good players and just amazing, like intricate writers and stuff like that. But I think you can write something that's really, really simple and it's, going to resonate a lot easier. Cause sometimes I think all you need to do is like black and white, simplify things to really feel it. But I think everything has its place because there's so many different feelings and people and music. Cause I don't know, it's science and math and art and magic at the same time. It's great.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't know, excuse me, I didn't know that many people had that much of a drastic difference when they write their lyrics in their music. Like some people will literally just say, lyrics, if they come, whatever it is, I just put it on the page, as long as the music is good. And other people's like, the lyrics is like the whole thing. Like the music is just more like background. So it's really crazy how people just have that different preference, honestly.
Definitely. I don't know. I love to have different music. I think I focus on the words a lot because that's my main, it's the focus of my music, especially as a songwriter. But I don't know, like some of Lucas's guitar hooks are like, that's the song. Like, I didn't need to do much to that because it was already great, Good to have a good team that, everybody has their own different strengths. And then I don't know. I finally feel like I have the group where we all come together and it still sounds like us. It doesn't sound like 3 people each playing like we're a unit, and I really miss them a lot.
Speaking of the Mayhaps, like how did you get involved with them?
So Lucas and I have been playing together for almost 3 years now. We were in that band Talk Radio for a while, which is a good band name for finding a band.
You got to make it big and then you can start doing that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And so we were playing like hard rock. And I don't know, we met because we worked together at the airport Starbucks. And then we just kind of became friends. I found out he played music and I don't know, he's kind of a quieter person. So I kind of like annoyed him into being my friend. And now my boyfriend, so hey. But I know it worked out really nice. And then Alec, our drummer, so he's only been with us since August. And I almost forgot how I met him. He and I were playing as the rhythm section. So he drums and me bass for Winnow, which was Watching for Foxes. And now he and Lucas are playing with Joey Friendo from that band. as kind of his backing band. So I don't know. We played in that band, and I was just like, personality wise and style wise, I was like, he doesn't overplay, he doesn't annoy me, and he, I don't know, he doesn't talk down to me or anything. Not that that's a huge problem, but sometimes with music, especially, there are times when I've just felt like I was being mansplained to, and neither of them strikes me that way. And I really appreciate that. They call me on my crap, but they let me be me, and that's good.
They're
That's
honest,
what I need.
but they're not, excuse the language, they're not assholes.
Yeah, absolutely.
What have you guys been up to recently while everything's been sort of shut down?
Well, we're starting a Rocket League.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you know what that is?
The Rocket League, the game?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been playing it every day. I've been training for 3 weeks. I'm at level 47.
Okay, so you already got the jump down and everything.
The jump is okay, but the actual flying, Lucas is amazing. He'll soar, and then Alec is kind of like the brute, like he'll just crash into people so that they can't score. It's a good team. Well, we're not great. We're going to do our first stream, I think, this week, and we're probably going to lose brutally sometimes, but we're going to lose as a team. So that's been fun. Lucas and I are also in a Star Wars RPG group where we, it's like Dungeons and Dragons, but it's in the Star Wars universe. So we've been doing that every week. Before, we couldn't get the group together to do it weekly, so it was like monthly. And now everybody's got nothing but time, so we just do it online. That's been fun. But as far as music goes, we're just keeping up on our chops, just practicing and writing and talking about how we're gonna do this album release in October. Like, we have the date booked and the band's booked, but it's at that point, we're not even sure if people are going to have money to go to concerts. I feel like people will still always want to go to concerts, though. It means a lot to a lot of people, and I just miss that community so much. And I think if that's our first show in Grand Rapids, I don't think it will be, but it'll be one of very few shows in Grand Rapids this year. And I really want it to be a celebration and like a family get together,
It's an experience more than anything, It's one thing to sort of like watch someone do like a live stream or something. It's almost like if you're watching a YouTube video, even if it is live, to go there in person, it's like, wow, this is good to actually see them do their thing. So
yeah, it breathes like it. There are so many moments that, I do love doing live streams and stuff like that too. And I love that I don't always have to put on pants to talk to people anymore. I do really miss, though, like the crowd, like they affect me like in that moment a lot of the time too, or just being with my guys. Like sometimes we'll just look at each other and we're like, okay, we're doing this instead. We never practiced it, but let's try it. Like, cause we're here and this is what needs to happen. It's beyond me at that point. And now I'm just stuck with my own thoughts. And as an extrovert, it's a nightmare.
Like, I think a lot of people that aren't musicians may not understand how much energy you can get from like your crowd and your audience. It is like, it's hard to explain because it's really just like you're performing for them. They're almost like they're performing for you in a way, So it's sweet, honestly.
Yeah. People like to, it depends on the person, but some people like to get up there and be like, you're here for me. But I don't know, without the group, then, if you don't have the crowd, then what are you doing? So, you gotta, if you're all in it together at that point, you're a master of ceremonies, you're a host for the event, not just something to look at while everybody talks, So that's how I look at it. I want to take care of my people and I miss them.
Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't last too much longer. I've heard maybe until August, which is still a long time, but yeah.
I better be a bass queen by then. I think, it's really funny how the venues and, all of these events, like I have gigs through December booked, but I'm not sure if some of those venues are going to be open. I'm not sure if the booking agents are going to be the same. I'm not sure if there's going to be a limited capacity for once people aren't isolated in their homes, like they're talking about maybe having 50 people max. So then at that point, like the bars might not have a budget for a band anymore because they're trying to get their feet back on the ground. Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff up in the air, but I've been booking some outdoor series for the summer, for like June and July. And there have started to be like clauses saying like, if there is a state of emergency, then you do not get paid. And then obviously that makes sense. It's completely fair. But the fact that it's in writing now says a lot. You know, everybody is affected by this. You know, the venues, the people buying tickets, the bands, the producers, the sound engineers. It's just everybody is being touched by this in some way in the entire world. It's ridiculous and unprecedented. But, you know, I think art is really important. And I want to do that with whatever means I have for as long as I can. So that's all I can do.
It really is, honestly, like, it's with everything literally just closed, like how fast it sort of closed. It's sort of, no one really had time to really adjust. So you're pretty much, everyone's just, like I said, just trying to go day by day, week by week, just figure out what's the new normal, essentially. So
yeah. Yeah, I need to up my live streaming game. I've learned that really fast, that some people are figuring this out, and some people have had it figured out. Like, oh my goodness, there's so much involved with, you know, turning on your phone and playing a song will work, but there might be lag. The audio might not sound good. Your phone might not have a great camera. It's like, you know, it's
there's
just so
much
involved.
The thing is, when you're doing that, you're essentially running like a little like TV studio. So
Absolutely.
It's everything. Like your phone can do it all, but it's still complex, you know?
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know. That's been interesting. I feel like I just had this thing figured out, and then it was like, okay, throwing you a real curveball here. I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. My best, I guess.
Have you guys tried OBS yet?
I have a document on it, and I'm doing a stream Friday, April 10th. I'm going to be on at 8. I think the whole show starts at 6. It's on facebook.com/stay-in-your-house-shows, or just look up Stay in Your House Shows. So I'm trying to figure out the best method for that particular show and going onward. I've had a couple streams and I've experimented with things that worked, but I want my art to look and sound good as well. You know, I want to make sure that if I'm asking people to help support me, that they
give them the best show
see how hard I'm working. Yeah. I don't want to just phone it in.
Even though it's on your phone.
Pun intended.
So I know it's sort of hard to say, but like, what do you guys are planning on doing for the future? Like, I guess maybe not even near future, but like future for yourself and for the band in general.
Cybernetic augmentations would be awesome, but I don't know if you're talking like Terminator future. Probably not. In like October, we're planning to release that record.
You say that, but I am like a full-on like cyborg supporter.
Yes. All right. We'll work on the technology. I'm sure someone's out there working on it.
Hopefully.
Yeah, Apple probably. Apple, give me an arm. Thank you.
The iArm. Or the eyeball. Sorry.
Oh, the eyeball. You should write them. I think that's going to catch on.
Apple, I would like my check. That's going to be $2 million.
Yeah. Patent pending. I don't know. October we're planning to release the record, but the problem is that we haven't been able to finish recording the record. We were going to do vinyl, but I think vinyl is going to have to wait because it's going to take 6 months to get it. I mean, we'll see what happens. I have been known to make things work in the past. And then hopefully we'll be able to do a house concert tour, a smaller house concert tour. We were planning to do a big venue tour, but that may not be a possibility. We could always do a healthy mix. I just love performing in any capacity. The Rocket League will probably live on. And I think next year we're going to really go at it hard, like really try to tour the country. And I think last year, I've been doing this for 2 years full time. This is my 3rd year. The first year I was focusing really much like on building a repertoire and contact and just doing as quantity, not quality. It was, I need to do this all the time, and that's how I'm going to get good at it, and be in front of as many people as I can. Then last year it was, I want to break away and be a regional act. I want, Michigan and a little bit of the Midwest. And then this year I was trying to see if we could maybe go national. We were going to do a Germany tour for like a week, because that's first of all, it sounds like fun. I've never been to Europe. And I don't know, they're really radio centric over in Europe. So we were thinking about seeing what we could do. Also, we just want to travel because that's why I do this a lot of the time, is just to meet people, see places. Yeah. And I will go Arlo Guthrie, or, become one of those train kids with a rat tail if I have to. But I don't know. We're just going to see as much as we can and make it as about the music as we possibly can. Yeah, that's all we can do.
No, it sounds about right. Like, I know it's like, we've said it already. It's just hard to make the plans for things. At least you guys already had like a general guideline of ideas where you want to go. So
Yeah.
it's like the things have already been in motion. So yeah. So I do want to ask, how was going from, like, what'd you do before you were like a full-time artist?
I worked at an office for a while when I was planning to go to college for music, but I decided that being a singer-songwriter isn't going to make me $100,000, that I'll be able to pay off before I'm dead. So I decided to just go straight into the workforce. And then so I worked in an office for a while, and then various cafes. I think it's hard. I wonder if I know a lot of millennials who haven't worked at a cafe or a bar. I'd be very surprised. But I think, I don't know, I think that helps me a lot to like understand how to talk to people and make connections with like complete strangers, and I don't know, and also keep me fed while I tried to do this full time as well. So I don't know. I just did what I had to, I guess, because this has always been what I wanted to do since I was a kid. So I don't really know what else I could be doing with myself.
Well, honestly, it's sort of hard to, because I know a lot of people, when they go into this, they're either like completely shocked or they know exactly what they're going to do. Like, I know when I first came to school, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to be a music producer. I want to like meet people together. And I realized, oh no, that's not going to work. Yeah. And plus, once you realize what actually involves to do all that, you're like, I just don't think either you don't have the commitment or just like the actual talent to be able to do it, what have you. And it's just, yeah.
Well, I think also, I mean, I've been, the street smarts learning this industry for a long time. I've been reading various books and stuff, and there is so much where, people think I just show up and play the songs and that's it. But it's also like, I have to organize all these people and make the event pages and design the posters for that sometimes, and pick the songs that we're going to learn and make the contacts. And it's crazy how many levels of this there are. And I think with any career that you're going to pursue, I think you see like just a little bit and you kind of see yourself in that position, then you learn everything that you have to do. And it's like, I maybe wouldn't enjoy this, or maybe I can do something a little similar. I don't know. Are you going into audio production? Is that what you're at Western for?
I'm actually going into like videography type things. I'm a MAT major, so like multimedia arts technology, but I'm recently in like the last year and a half to 2 years started leaning more towards filmography. So that's where I started into this, and like the video management with the paper and stuff like that. So that's more or less when it's naturally been leaning towards. But
gotcha.
Coming into it, I was planning on, I don't know how I had this idea. I wanted to be this great like music producer, just generally like help people out. But I didn't know how to read music coming into college. So I was already just like starting it from like 0. So
yeah.
But
I barely know how to read music. So I've learned that too, that there's a very different, I don't want to say personality, but almost like even just like way of thinking. Like there's a lot of musicians that I can't really talk music with because they're, using a lot of technical terms, some of which I definitely understand from, experience and reading. But then there's a lot of people who have never tried to read music, have never taken a lesson. And then piano is the only thing that I'd ever had lessons on, and then a little bit of choir in high school. So there's a lot you can figure out with the internet or just passion. Like, there's a lot of really, really great artists who have no idea what they're doing, but they do it so well. And don't even worry about that. I don't know. There's a lot of, that's what I love about art though, is that you don't need to do it one way. You can do whatever you want as long as you're being you. It's going to resonate with somebody, I think. So
Yeah, there's no like, I don't want to say there's no standard, but there's no like flat line you have to meet at least. As long as you're able to be creative and be able to market yourself, put it out there. Like,
yeah.
pretty much going back to what you said earlier, when you're doing all this, you're pretty much a small business. Like you do everything that comes with it. You know, like I said, you're talking to venues, you're making all the marketing type stuff, you're reaching out. Obviously, you're doing the music type stuff. So you're the full range of everything. So,
yeah. I actually about a month ago registered as an LLC too. I was just doing business as Patty PerShayla for a while, but now I actually registered a record company, which only has the Mayhaps right now. But eventually, I'd like to do that for other people too, and just help them out, because I think it's interesting too with the internet now how much you can do without a record company. A lot of people see that's the path. You know, I need to get on the radio. I need to get on American Idol and do that, and that is cool and that's fine. I don't know. It's just interesting. I feel like a record company is really just a bank in a lot of ways. Like they have the money and they tell you whether or not you can have that amount for what you want to do with it. And that's great because there are different ways to have that agreement. And I think there are a lot of artists that are, you know, now that there are these resources, they can ask actual like large record companies, they can make more, you know, on their own art. Because a lot of the time it's like 15% of everything that's made goes to the artist. That's kind of how it is near the top, so to speak. But it's a really interesting time we're living in. Like technology has been, I mean, it's all we can do to stay in touch with everybody. And I don't know. Like, I love tech. I really do. I'm so grateful for all the time. There are definitely downsides, but I wouldn't know anything without the internet.
Imagine if something like this happened 30 years ago, before we had like laptops, before we had like internet, before we had like literally like something like Skype, even though we're not using Skype. So, that would be absolutely crazy. But going back to what you said, like it is pretty much so much different now. Like I know like Netflix, there's so much crazy stuff that's being produced now that you couldn't make 10 years ago, not even 10 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. Because you just have that, you're just handing stuff out where you can just make it. So it's essentially the same thing as doing like a record label. So
Interesting.
Cool. I think that is pretty much it. Unless you had anything else you want to say, we're gonna do the plugs after this.
No, I think I pretty much covered everything that I'm good.
Cool. So how can people get in contact with you? How can people like follow your stuff?
That would be www.patty with a Y, PerShayla, spelled like it sounds, .com. Right now I'm really focusing on, I mean, we have Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. If you just look up Patty PerShayla or any of those / Patty PerShayla, that'll come up. And then we have a Patreon page, which is essentially for $1, $3, $5, whatever dollars a month. You get some extra stuff, and you get some cheaper merchandise, and you know, it's kind of like a micro investment. So if people feel like supporting me, I will give them a little bit extra, and some more behind the scenes on the record, and that's been helpful. That's how we've been funding our upcoming record, because right now all of my money is focusing, all of my personal money is like, how can I feed myself? How can I, you know, stay alive? And maybe help out some other people too. But as far as a business, like you were saying, we are kind of relying on support from people that can share it, and it's been great. We're really grateful for it. So.
Cool. And what's the, I don't know, do you guys have a name for the album that's coming out yet, or is it still kind of up in the air?
It's kind of up in the air. Like we had one picked out because we were just about to start working on hiring a graphic designer, but now we're relaxing a little bit. We're trying to finish these 2 songs, and now we have options. You know, it's not just like finish the first 2 songs that make sense. It's like, okay, let's really decide what we want. So it might change. So it will be revealed in its own time.
And what's the planned date right now, just so people can just look it up or stay on the radar?
October 3rd, the Friday, the first Friday in October.
First Friday. Nice.
I think it's the 3rd.
Cool. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Everyone, this has been PerShayla, Music Library Hash. Hope you guys all have a good day. We'll all catch you guys later.
That I'm bound to take. I can't get my kicks when my whole damn room shifts to keep me in my place.